Here's my issue with Christopher Guest. I want to say this as diplomatically as possible. His shit boring. It boring, it not very funny. I think we all can agree on that. Well, I mean, at least I can. But thankfully I had two wonderful Jens to convince me that I am an uncultured swine. With Jen Anderson, now known as Jen Rizzuto. Congratulations. She is from the popular horror-themed improv show Spooky Doings here in New York City, which you should check out. It's long-running for a reason. As well as we were joined by Jen Brown, a dear friend and the voice of so many well-known things on Rooster Teeth. I'll get into her credits in the video, but look, if you think he's boring, if you think Christopher Guest is not a boring filmmaker, either way, the important thing is to watch this because I want the views.
You may love a thing that I can't stand, spiders, tofu, watching Homeland. Our interests are all varying. It's fun to be contrarian, but I'll try things that you all love to see if I can rise above. But maybe there's a chance that I just won't. So in that case, don't mind if I don't.
Welcome to Don't Mind If I Don't. Hey, I'm your host, Aaron Gold. This is the show where I make several attempts at an intro to the show, and then I'm not happy with any of them. So I then just say, hey, we're doing Christopher Guest today. And joining me are two wonderful Christopher Guest fans. First up, actor whose voice you may recognize as Carolina from Red vs. Blue, Harley Quinn from DC Universe Online, Pyrrha from Ruby, or maybe just the co-host of Women in Caskets on the Bloody Disgusting Network. Give it up for Jen Brown.
Yay! Hi, greetings, salutations. Thank you for having me, Mr. Gold.
You are welcome, Miss Brown. Oh, we've got a fun thing going with our last names and colors.
Yeah, names and colors. Your name is a little flashier than mine.
That's true.
Mine is absurdly boring and common. Everyone has my name, my full name.
Yeah, I'm named Jen Brown too.
Very standard.
Speaking of, listen, I think that your name is not nearly as common as you might think. Gonna just change topics completely for a moment. Our other guest is Jennifer Anderson, actor, improviser from Spooky Doings, and co-creator of the live show Missed Connections. Hi, other Jen.
Hi, Aaron and other Jen.
I did not think this out when I picked the guests for this episode.
I know, but you know what? To give you credit, it's hard. I feel like about 75% of the women born between 1978 and 1989 were named Jennifer. I meet a Jennifer every day. I'm not even exaggerating that.
Everyone meets a Jennifer. When
true.
God closes a door, he makes another Jennifer.
He does. There's lots of closed doors.
just to make this easier for me, since I think if one of you says, "Hey, Jen," I don't think there's going to be confusion. Because I doubt you tend to say it to yourself.
I've stopped even acknowledging that as my name sometimes. I sometimes don't even respond.
Straight up, whenever I meet another Aaron, I instantly nickname them, and I get everybody around me to nickname them, because fuck you, I'm Aaron. I'm going to call so Jen A for Anderson and Jen B for Brown.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Or let me just try this out. Brownie?
No.
Okay, Jen
Oh,
B.
we
Jen
hit
B.
a nerve,
We got it.
yeah.
All right, good. This is why we try things. Anyway, we're talking about Christopher Guest today. Everything on this show gets rated on a scale of 0 to -10, 0 being my ambivalence, -10 being blood-curdling hatred. Christopher Guest clocks in at a -4.
Okay. All right.
What?
All right.
Oh, well, you got a whole range of emotions from the two Jens.
Well, if you had said like -8, I would have just been like, you heartless bastard.
I mean, let's even at -4, I'm the one to admit that yes, I am the heartless bastard. Like it's more like I don't hate his art at all. I'm just frustrated because everyone else seems to like love his movies. They all love Spinal Tap or Mighty Wind or Best in Show or Waiting for Guffman, which are also the 4 things of him that I have watched.
but it's just I feel like I'm missing something. Like it just strikes me as very gentle comedy. Like it's clever, but it's not funny.
What? All right.
I like that.
You're wrong. But
I know
okay.
I'm wrong. That's why you guys are here to fix me, to make me a better man. So tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, there's a lot of reasons. Well, one, it makes zero sense that you do not like Christopher
I would
Guest.
have to agree with that. Knowing you, it does. I was shocked.
I
to
agree
learn.
with that.
Yeah.
I agree. I know that I am wrong. We're not blazing any trails here, guys. I'm here to be a better person. So how about we just cancel the judgment? This is like a really shitty support group. This is like if you went to AA and they're just like, wow, you're a fucking drunk.
You're a loser.
Yeah,
man.
I'm here to get better.
No, but here's why. The reason why we're shocked and the reason why you should like Christopher Guest, I mean, there's a bunch, but the first and foremost reason is that it is based in improv.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's based in improv, and it is an amazing showcase, and they're probably the best film versions we have that showcase some of our best improvisers we've ever had in amazing form.
Agreed.
I mean, the people that he uses, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, Catherine O'Hara is amazing.
One of those people in one film would be enough, and it's got like 10 brilliant improvisers and comedic people in these films, at least. That alone, you should appreciate him for what he's been able to do as far as exposure to improv through film.
Now, hold on. Let's correct this right off the bat. This is like the David Bowie debacle. This is not. I'm not saying that I don't respect him or that I don't think that he's talented. I think he's talented. I think he's very talented. I think making improv work in a film setting or any kind of camera setting takes talent. It just it's not. It hasn't resonated with me. Like, I don't love it. I respect it. I just if another Christopher Guest thing comes out, I'm just like, all right, whatever, and I'm unaffected.
What makes it not resonate with you?
I don't laugh during it.
Like, you just don't find it particularly like humorous?
Yeah. I mean, I watched Waiting for Guffman today in preparation for this. I laughed out loud maybe 3 times. Like, I just...
What 3 times?
I'm interested to know.
God, I'm trying to remember. Eugene Levy did something that made me laugh. And I think... I don't know, it just strikes me as very gentle comedy. Like, I don't find awkward white people dancing to be particularly trailblazing or anything when it comes to comedy. I thought Catherine O'Hara was amazing. She made me laugh when she was drunk at the dinner scene.
Restaurant?
Yeah, the restaurant. She made me laugh then.
Oh my God.
When she talks about his penis surgery?
Yeah, the penis surgery.
That's gentle comedy,
Yeah.
talking about a penis surgery?
No, that one got me to laugh.
Like, I don't understand how you can call Waiting for Guffman gentle comedy. I mean, every single thing that Corky does is ridiculously over the top and utterly hilarious, in my personal opinion. It's one of the most endlessly quotable films that there
Absolutely.
is.
100%.
I mean, I can't tell you how many times in college, friends, like I'd pass, of course I was a theater nerd, so I studied theater in college. I'd pass people in the halls and we just go, everybody dance. Like, there's so many nuggets in that film.
That's the thing. There's nuggets. And I think that it might take you a couple viewings, honestly.
So
I think you might need to watch
in
it a
get
couple
this
more times.
No, I don't want to work for my comedy. I want it to come to me. Like, that's the point of comedy. It's there to make me feel good.
I hate you and your ass face does nothing for you.
Oh my God, yes.
I mean,
I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna bite my pillow.
That made me chuckle. The bite my pillow line made me chuckle.
There's not any swimming in my show?
No, that one did nothing.
Oh
for me.
my gosh. What about It's the Day of the Show, y'all? That's a classic. Everybody in theater that I know, whether they've seen Waiting for Guffman or not, anybody in improv, anybody always says, it's the day of the show, y'all. That's a
Yeah.
classic thing.
Do you guys want to start quoting Anchorman while
Absolutely.
we're at it? Like, this is doing nothing for me. Like, it's...
Oh my gosh. Nothing.
I think so.
Every line I think of, I pop into my, like, it's like, Corky, we want you to
Yes,
live.
yes.
I mean, it's utterly, it blows my mind. It genuinely blows my mind that you don't get that
genuinely
movie.
blows your mind?
Genuinely. I think too the thing,
And yet we blow past that amazing Jen joke I just had.
I know. I appreciated it. It just didn't resonate.
Maybe you guys just don't know humor.
just didn't resonate.
Maybe I'm the only comedic
didn't
genius
resonate,
in
yeah.
the
Didn't
world.
resonate. Here's the thing that I think you call it gentle comedy. I think I would define it in some respects as more like subtle comedy, even though
Okay.
there is definitely like over the top elements to it. I think there's like a subtlety and a nuance to it that maybe you don't necessarily get on a first go around, that you need to
I agree
kind
with
of
you.
go back and watch again, because there is like, especially with like Catherine O'Hara and especially with Eugene Levy, and even with Parker Posey
yeah.
too, like you can watch that and there are some things. I've seen the movie 20,000 times and I will still go back and I will miss some like look or something that Eugene Levy does or that Catherine O'Hara does, some like little like glance that's hysterical that I've missed the first time around. So I think there's a lot of subtlety in that movie that you kind of have to go back around. And again, that maybe means you have to like work for it a little bit. And, and if it's not something you necessarily want to like put the effort into, that's fair enough. But like,
it's so worth it.
I think so.
It's
yeah.
so, and I totally agree with you. I really do. I think subtle comedy is correct. There is a subtlety to it. There's a nuance
Definitely
at play.
I mean, you make it sound like I'm some uncultured mass. And granted, yes, I am. But I mean, let's not remind myself of it. Like, it's... Catherine O'Hara was my favorite in the movie.
Yeah.
I especially whenever Fred Willard was talking,
Yes.
I just watched her, and she's amazing. But like, that's not going to break any, news to anybody.
right. No one's going to argue with you on that.
Yeah,
one.
and if they do, shut up.
no,
We can
of
all
course
agree
not.
Catherine O'Hara is amazing.
What if somebody asked you to be on a podcast and convinced them that Catherine O'Hara was good?
I mean, I'd just be like, bruh, nah, bro,
yeah.
nah, bro, she
Yeah,
is.
bro, she's great.
It's much easier on my end making you all do the work. Again, like the performances are all very, very good. Everyone was good in that movie. Parker Posey, everyone was fantastic. Fred Willard has one thing that he does, and he's amazing at it. And Spinal Tap, when I finally saw Spinal Tap, I thought it was way overrated.
Really?
Spinal Tap didn't make me laugh once.
Wow. Not one time?
I don't believe so. It was years ago that I saw it, but I don't remember. I remember going like, I felt like I hadn't wasted my time because I finally saw this thing that everyone was like, you haven't seen Spinal Tap? And then I finally got it out of my system.
Right. I think that with Spinal Tap specifically, I think there's a danger in that because people do really like talk about that. Waiting for Guffman, I feel like, is a little bit less of a danger where you fall into that thing of like, everybody says how good it is. Like for me, if I saw Hamilton, I don't know if I would. I know I would like it, but people have blown it up to such epic proportions. I don't think it could ever match that. So I think that might have happened with Spinal Tap a little bit.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that as for sure with Spinal Tap as well. Because I remember when I finally saw it for the first time, I thought it was really good, but I didn't think it was as funny. It wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
But I still really enjoyed it. And it's also one of those movies, when you watch it again and again, it gets funnier. There's something unique about Christopher Guest's films, and hate this aspect if you want, but they get better the more you watch them. For some people, that starts with maybe not liking it that much, and then it grows on them. For me, I like them immediately, and then I like them even more upon rewatch because there's all this stuff I missed the first time around, like you were saying earlier, Jen.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a well-known thing that comedy is always funnier when you re-listen to the same jokes multiple times. So I can totally see how rewatching these movies that didn't make me laugh the first time will definitely get me later.
If you approach
Oh
it with
my
an open mind.
God.
What more open mind
Yeah.
can I do? I have a podcast dedicated to show me why I am wrong about this thing. I couldn't be more open-minded if there was another fucking hole in my skull. Like, I'm trying my best here.
All right. Okay. Did you listen to me and watch Family Tree?
I did not.
You are an asshole. Okay. Look.
God damn, this is like the most abused I've been in episodes.
I think everyone's on
It's
our
just because
side.
I feel comfortable with
That's
you.
fair.
True. That's
That's fair. I am going to be at your wedding.
You're going to be in my
That's
wedding.
true. Oh, am I getting married to you?
Congrats, guys.
No,
Oh, wow.
you're in the wedding party, you dumbass.
I know what I am.
You dumbass.
Besides, you don't
Okay,
want to get married to
so-
me. You don't want your last name to be Brown Gold.
Oh,
Brown
brown
gold.
gold.
That'd be weird.
That would be weird. Although I'm keeping my last name as amazing as Tribe is.
You don't want to be Brown Tribe? Ooh, yeah. I said it out loud. I'm hearing. Yeah, no. Okay, yeah.
Mm.
This is not a thing someone of your complexion can pull off. Yeah. Okay, you're doing good, Jen.
I am Mexican though. I'm not white. I'm just light skinned.
Did not know that.
But yeah, brown tribe still.
What
I
a
think,
fun
you
fact.
know, you did not know that I was Hispanic?
But I mean, like,
No. All right.
in the most respectful way possible, I don't care. Like, you're just Jen to me. You're Jen, you know?
Yeah, well, you're going to see it at the wedding. You're going to be like, oh, she's definitely Mexican.
I don't think I've ever had that thought about anyone. I don't think I've ever had the thought like, oh, they're definitely Mexican. Like, I don't think that's a comfortable thought
I
in my
mean
brain.
it. I mean it in a good way. I mean it in a
I'd
good way.
hope.
Like you'll see like my family, and there'll be mariachis, and you'll be like, oh, yeah, yeah. I am curious to see which of my friends didn't realize, and then they'll show up at the wedding and be like, oh, I had no idea.
I'm looking forward to the friends of yours that still don't get it, and they pull you aside like, Jen, this is kind of in poor taste. I don't think you can just appropriate these things.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there are going to be all of my Mexican family members there, so that will hopefully tip off the white folks.
I don't know.
Oh,
We're
right.
pretty thick.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Yeah. We're really good at not picking up on things, as evidenced by my inability to get behind Christopher Guest films. And again, this is another one of those ones where I'm like, everybody involved is talented. Christopher Guest is talented. The entire casts are talented. The direction is well done. I appreciate the mockumentary style.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say about Family
Okay.
Tree. So here's the thing with Family Tree. Do you like Chris O'Dowd?
He's good.
He's good. Do you enjoy his like Chris O'Dowdiness? He has a very like particular aura to the way that he acts in certain
It's
things.
not that particular. It's
like-
just Irish or like a Scottish.
Lovable doofus.
Scottish.
like
He's Scottish, more well-adjusted Seth Rogen.
That's
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can
yeah,
get
yeah.
behind. I can get behind
Yeah.
As
Well,
slightly more
he-
attractive Seth Rogen can attest.
that. Mm-hmm.
You know, we are of a type.
So if you like Chris O'Dowd, you would love Family Tree because it's a vehicle for Chris O'Dowd and for Nina Conti. And if you've never heard of her, she is an utter genius. And I know I'm going to say this word and you're going to cringe immediately, but she's a ventriloquist. Stay with me. She's not terrible. She's actually genius.
Actually, you know what?
and she-
Surprisingly enough, ventriloquist does not put me off. Like I
Okay.
consider that a skill and talent that few people have. I think that a lot of people can get irritating with it, Jeff Dunham, but
Yeah.
you know, I
Right.
don't blame the art.
It gets a bad rap, is all I'm saying. It gets a very bad rap.
How often does she
is
say, I
in-
kill you?
Never.
Okay, well,
We're off to
then
a
is
good
it
start,
truly
yeah.
ventriloquism? I don't know.
But she primarily puppets this monkey called Monk that she kind of treats like her best friend. And in the show, she plays a version of herself and a woman who's like emotionally attached to this monkey and can't take it off of her hand.
Oh, so
And it's
works
about
into...
her and her brother, who's Chris O'Dowd, and it is absolutely hysterical. It has that Christopher Guest quality. However, because there's this sort of central plot that's a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more obvious than his general, like most of the plots are just sort of loose in a lot of his films. Like there's a plot, but it's sort of more about a mood and a general feel.
Yeah, and it doesn't have a lot of resolution.
Right. This film or this show has more of like more plot elements, I would say. And it's really, I really think that it's a good Christopher Guest for people who don't like Christopher Guest, which is why I suggested you watch it for this podcast. And you did.
Okay. Hold on 1 second, because I've watched 4 goddamn Christopher Guest movies. You're acting like I was a lazy boy about this. I put in work. And then I spent like the rest of today trying to make an online interview work with my equipment, and I still don't know how to do it. So
I don't know. I think you're doing good.
I mean, we're jerry rigging this thing.
I think it's working okay.
Yeah, if you listen to the episode with Jen, your fiance Barrett, I did the same kind of hookup.
Right.
I think you bring up a good point about like the plot resolution, because the little plots were really what had my most interest with Waiting for Guffman, but there isn't a ton of resolution. Eugene Levy's wife finally sees him performing on stage, and she's finally like, "Oh, I get it. I support him now." And then when he's in Miami, we don't know if she followed him. We don't know if that marriage ended. We don't know anything. Like they just
Right.
didn't bother, and that happens a lot. Also, his shit ends sad a lot.
Who you Christopher Guest in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a tinge of sadness to his work.
I felt really bad for Parker Posey at the end of Waiting for Guffman.
But I think that brings a humanity into it, though. You know what I mean? Like, especially for Waiting for Guffman, and like, especially with that whole like community theater, like this is my ticket out kind of mentality. You know, like it brings, it's sad. It's definitely sad, but it brings the humanity to the characters, I think, you know, instead of, if for, you know, Parker Posey specifically, like it would be so easy to just make her this idiot, you know, and because of the way that the story is crafted, you really see her heart, and you see, you know, you see her character, and you get to, you have an empathetic reaction for her, you know, instead of just laughing, oh, what an idiot, you know. I don't know. I think that sadness element brings a little bit more roundness to all the characters.
I will agree with that, but my issue comes from the hopelessness of the endings. Like, it's not, okay, yeah, now she's going off to try and make it, or it's not, it's just, hey, you never had a shot, kid. This is your life. Dairy Queen forever.
But Aaron, that's the reality for most people.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was like, well, unfortunately, that's kind of
like that's the reality.
I'm watching this
though.
for
Like,
full
that's
reality. I'm watching for an escape. It is entertainment. Reality isn't dredge enough.
But don't you want to demand a little bit more from your entertainment? And does every single thing have to always end with this fairy tale unrealistic ending for these characters that didn't earn that fairy tale ending?
I think there's something being misconstrued here. I'm not saying that she has to get a happy ending where she now makes it, she's famous, everyone loves her, but the ending, the hopelessness of the ending took away from the comedy to me.
I feel like you're ascribing more hopelessness to it than there is.
Yeah.
There is some, there is a little bit, but I feel like you're layering that on. Like, you are deciding that is hopeless.
Maybe, but
like,
also I'm the one that watched it most recently, so
here's the other thing too. You know, in the fact that it is unresolved, they don't necessarily. Who knows? Parker Posey could have gone back to Alabama, and then in 2 years went back to New York and made it. Like
That's
in
fair.
the same way that it's unresolved negatively, you can also say it's unresolved in a positive sense too. Same thing with Eugene Levy. He could have moved to Miami and made it, and is living in a mansion now. So you don't necessarily have to ascribe a hopelessness to it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Right.
All right. Retracted.
Exactly.
Retracted, but begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly retracted. Is there any other kind of retracted?
Yes. The kind where you're like, you know what? I was wrong.
Right.
Thank you. But that I'm not doing today. I don't know. Does he do anything that isn't mockumentary-ish?
As far as what he creates personally,
No.
no,
Yeah. Because it is so
not that I can
improv based.
think of.
What else does he have a hand in?
Well, he's an actor. I mean, Princess Bride. Hello.
Who's he in Princess Bride?
The Six-Fingered Man.
Oh, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Why don't we segue into not just Christopher Guest as a director and a creator, but Christopher Guest as a brilliant actor and human being, and married to Jamie Lee Curtis. Might I add?
I should also clarify. Him as a man, no problem with, and him as an actor, very entertaining.
Okay.
I think it's just
Okay.
him as a
So
director in his films.
It's
Yeah.
just as a creator.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't know the dude personally. I'm sure if that many really talented people love him and love working with him, I'm sure he's a wonderful man.
You just don't like his movies that he's directed or put together or created.
Like, they haven't resonated with me, and I don't see why they're such a big fucking deal.
Okay.
I mean, okay. As, an improviser, like it's something I respect and I'm happy is out there, but it just doesn't click in me.
Okay. I mean, I that's fair. And just in the way that not everybody is going to think every single Adam Sandler movie is funny or Will Ferrell. I get that.
That's the first go-to you have, Adam Sandler?
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler was the first, like there was no
Oh,
hesitation.
Aaron. That's the kind of humor that she thinks that you have because you don't have the capacity to love Christopher Guest.
God, wow, this has gotten to a total nosedive real quick.
No, not at all. This is the first thing I thought of.
Man, what must you think of me?
No. Oh my gosh.
Like, do you imagine me going into any room going, The Cobbler is the most underrated film?
I didn't mean that you felt that way. I was just using it as an example.
No, that's fair.
Okay. I think, honestly, Jen will agree with me on this too, I think you need to watch them again. At least Waiting for Guffman. Another pass.
Yes.
Another pass. Because there are so many things that you pick up on a second or a third watch.
Well, let's get back to Waiting for Guffman. Spinal Tap. This is a movie that, like, even the music, why do people go? I don't think the music is very good. Or entertaining, I should say.
Huh.
Why do people love the music?
Big Bottoms does nothing for you?
Yeah, just great. A whole bunch of bass guitars. I don't get why this is funny. Like, what am I missing here?
Have you ever been in a band?
Yes, and I played bass guitar.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Jen A is actually sitting right in front of my bass guitar right now.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
It's got a yin yang on it. I love it.
Yeah, I was a punk kid and I believed in yin yangs and balance and all
love
that
it.
bullshit.
Oh, and
it's
got
actually
a
got a lot of
strap,
yin
too.
yangs on it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Nerd.
Hey, accurate.
Hey, nerd's a compliment.
No, I know what I am.
So I think with Spinal Tap, I would say again, go through it again and watch it again. But I do understand how, like, your expectations not being met, because that's kind of happened to me when I watched Spinal Tap for the first time, because that wasn't the first one I saw. My first one was Waiting for Guffman, and I saw Waiting for Guffman before, before. I sound like a hipster. I saw it before anybody would talk about it. No, I saw it, kind of before it became a little more mainstream than it is, and before he kind of became more mainstream than he is.
Now you sound like a hipster.
Now I sound like
You
a
didn't-
hipster.
You were in the safe zone until you brought up mainstream multiple times in the
until
same
I said
sentence.
mainstream.
Yeah.
Oh, kill me. We're on the 4th floor. I'm just going to jump right out. I do think that one, I don't think it's necessarily blown out of proportion. I don't think it's like, people say it's great and it's crappy, but I do think that I definitely saw that with really, 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 really high expectations, especially after I saw Waiting for Guffman.
Yeah, I had very, very high expectations watching Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
But like, what is Gen B? Can you elaborate on why Big Bottom is funny?
Oh, just I mean, I think for the people that enjoy the songs, like
You can just say
Big
no.
Bottoms.
You can just say no. I
It's
can't
just-
elaborate on this thing.
Well, it's more of just the simplistic humor. I mean, really, Spinal Tap goes for a lot of times the sort of easy joke, but in a clever way. And it's okay. Big Bottoms, for me, at least, why I think it's hilarious that I'm having to dissect this, but what I found hilarious about that song and other songs when it came to Spinal Tap is just their ability to parody the music in general and these different genres and different styles in general, and the way that songs are written and the ridiculousness of lyrics, especially as pertain to women, and how broad they can be. It was just hilarious to me because it was just pointing that out in a very, very obvious way. Big bottoms, talking about buns. My girl's got them. It's
That's
ridiculous.
what the song's about?
Yes.
No, I'm being facetious.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just pointing out the ridiculousness of a lot of rock music. It's just, that's all. It's parody.
Yeah.
It's just really good parody. That's stupid a lot,
Right,
but it's still funny.
What? Okay. Now we get to the broader question then. Why not me? Like, what's wrong with me?
I don't know. This is the 3rd time I've said it. I think you just need to give him a revisit. I think you need to give him a revisit.
You
'Cause it
guys
takes
do
some
see
time.
why I'm inherently
I do.
against the idea of, oh, you didn't laugh
You didn't
at this
like it the first time, watch it again.
or any of his other
Yeah.
films. Why don't you watch it again? Like, you do see how the math doesn't
No, I
add up
get
on
that.
right,
I get
guys?
that. And the only reason I say that is because there are things you miss on the first go around.
And I agree with her. I agree with Jen. And I also think you need, and I'll reiterate, I think you need to see Family Tree because I think it's a really nice grown-up version of Christopher Guest. He did it in conjunction with Jim Paddock.
When did he do this?
What?
When did Family Tree come out?
2013.
Okay. So it's recent.
Yeah, somewhat. I think his most recent thing was Mascots.
Yeah, I was about to say, neither of you guys mentioned mascots
I
at
didn't
all.
actually see Mascots.
Oh.
I know. I didn't.
I
actually
did see
it.
Mascots. It's fine. Here's the thing with Christopher Guest. As much as I love Christopher Guest, not every single one of his films is a huge hit for me. I enjoyed Mascots, but it doesn't really have the same feel or joy that Best in Show or Waiting for Guffman or,
Yeah,
the others have.
That's how I kind of felt about For Your Consideration.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, and that I
Yeah.
appreciate. I guess I felt the same way about it as you feel about him in general. Is that like, okay, I appreciate this. Like, it's an ensemble of really amazing actors,
Mhm.
but it wasn't necessarily something that I was like, I'm going to watch that 400 more times so that I can dissect it all and find the things that I missed.
Can I ask how many times you watched it?
I think I watched it twice.
Oh, okay.
I think I
I
watched it
was-
twice.
if it was once, we would have gotten to something real here.
Right. Sorry to disappoint.
No, it's okay. This is science. We're finding what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
Why?
I'm sad
Why?
that it doesn't. It feels like there's in not such a personal way as I'm about to say it. There's a big joke that everyone else is in on.
No, I just think it's a joke you don't find funny. You know, I don't know. That's how I maybe feel.
Does that make me like a fuddy-duddy?
No.
Does that make me
No.
Does that make me like grandpa who doesn't get it with the kids these days?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I can admit it's not going to be the kind of comedy that's for everyone. It is kind of strange that you particularly don't like it, but maybe you don't like it because it's too close to what you do, and so you're more critical of it, and therefore
that's
you have a harder time accepting it.
Yeah, and because like, this is kind of what I fucking do whenever I'm doing improv. Like maybe, and honestly, as I was watching all these things, I'm thinking in my head like, yeah, this isn't for me watching it, but I'd love to be on set and fucking around with them. Like,
yeah.
and I feel like I could keep up, but maybe that's it. Maybe it's just it's not as novel a thing to me. Like I'm used to this in certain respects.
Yeah, that's fair.
Your voice went up 3 octaves.
Me?
Yeah. So am I grasping at straws here? Did what I just say make no sense? But
No, you might. I mean, like I was saying, you might be just too close to it.
Guys, I think I'm just too funny.
You might be too funny. I was going to say
too funny.
Kind of in that same vein.
It felt dirty as I said it, Jen B.
In that same vein, but kind of on the opposite end of that,
I'm not
I
funny
would
enough.
say. No, you're very funny.
We don't need to go into that.
I would say
no. You're very
you're
funny.
very funny. You're very funny. Did my voice drop back down?
It went lower.
Deep.
It went 5
Great.
octaves down. So I think what you just said was super truthful.
Great. A part of the humor for me in his movies too, maybe, like Best in Show, I still found really funny, even though I'm not in that world. Part of the humor is because I am in those worlds. Like, especially for Waiting for Guffman, there was some things in there, and I was like, I don't know if you didn't do community theater that you would necessarily find this funny.
I did community theater. And I didn't find it
you
funny.
didn't find it funny.
I was just like, yeah, okay, community theater, I get it.
So then maybe
we're
it
making fun of
is.
this now.
Yeah, maybe it is that you're just a little more. You have a more critical eye to it.
I feel like I let myself down. I feel like I should be all about this. I want to be. So aside from watching Family Tree, was it?
Family Tree, yes.
Family Tree. How about personal work I can do to try and open up my horizons? It's just rewatching this stuff, like that's all I can do.
Does it hurt your soul that you don't get it? Does it like depress you that you don't find it funny?
It more depresses me that everyone else does. It bums me out that like everybody's like, oh wow, this is like the damn Daniel meme, except this has more credit. When people were all like, oh man, that damn Daniel video, I was just like, I don't get why this is entertainment. I don't get why this is the thing we share.
So you don't like being left out, but specifically of this thing because your friends that find it funny.
Yeah, this is a thing I'm left out from that I have respect for. But I don't know why.
That's tricky. That is tricky.
Have you guys ever felt that way?
Yes, I have. Yeah,
about what?
100%.
About what?
Oh, I don't even want to say because I'm afraid people are going to like hate me.
I have put myself out there for 47 goddamn episodes.
But I'm
so
not
far.
the host of a podcast, though.
Fair.
I will say
begrudging.
It's I feel that way about Harry Potter.
You see, now this I get.
Okay.
Oh, Harry Potter.
Yeah, I mean, like
I love Harry Potter.
It's fine.
I love it, but I can get why someone could not like it.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to get into it, and someone forced me to get into it, and then I was like, "Oh, this is great."
Real quick,
but I had to be like strong-armed into it.
Jen B, you a Ravenclaw? Or you Slytherin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a feeling you're either Ravenclaw or Slytherin.
Yeah, definitely Ravenclaw. I mean, I really passionately kind of hate the Matrix series.
No, that I definitely get.
And a lot of people love it. And I hate it. I hate it. The only saving grace for me for the Matrix series is I do know that there's a lot of trans people that find that that film series is incredibly important to them as far as like being an allegory for transness. And that I totally appreciate, but I just don't like those movies.
Wait,
I get that.
I never saw it as an allegory for.
I didn't either, and I was just trying to analyze it in my head.
Yeah.
Once you said that,
Can
I was
you spell
like,
that out a little bit more for us, Jen B?
There have been some really interesting takes on it from some trans women and trans men, and I was like, oh, okay, I see that. I still don't like it, but now I totally respect your love for it.
See, I
totally respect your love for it, but I just don't. I can't get behind the Matrix films. I have a Keanu Reeves problem. I mean, maybe that should be mine.
I love the idea.
Maybe that should be mine, Keanu Reeves. Like he makes me irrationally angry. Like, and I understand that he is apparently one of the nicest, sweetest, most wonderful people, and I totally respect him as a person, but I cannot watch that man on film. As an actor, it angers me.
Even the Bill and Ted
it's
series?
really hard. I've been working on it over the years, trying to be better, and it's getting a little better. But I have a Keanu Reeves problem.
Where does the Bill and Ted series clock in for you at?
The only acceptable work he's ever done.
Cool. I've also heard the John Wick films are great. I want to watch those too.
I haven't
but
seen
outside of that,
I've been meaning to. They're on my like. You should give this a try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. I mean, Keanu Reeves is a little. I mean, I get it. Yeah, I echo your sentiments. Let's find something that one of you guys doesn't like that I can judge you for.
Okay.
Because so far, the things that you have mentioned, I'm
can
like,
get behind.
I can understand.
Okay.
What's something that you guys don't like that like you're like, oh man, everybody else is all about this thing, but I'm like, fuck it.
Do you like sports?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I'm okay. I like to play them. I don't like to
You don't
watch
like to
them.
watch them. Okay.
How about reality competition dance shows?
No, I mean, who are you talking to? Of course, I don't. So far, you're.
You name all the things he
Yeah,
hates to.
these are ground balls, except not ground balls. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good metaphor. I don't like sports, so.
Well, there, you can make fun of me for loving So You Think You Can Dance, because I unabashedly love So You Think You Can Dance.
Oh.
Oh, wait, that's
See,
love,
I
not a hate thing. God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm getting this
And
all
also,
wrong.
I would love to make fun of you for that, but I had and still have such a heart boner for the sing off, the acapella competition show.
Oh, that is
hilarious.
one thing I hate is acapella.
Oh,
You can judge
but
me
the
for
sing
that.
off was
Yeah.
so good. It had
I
Ben Folds.
cannot stand
Ben
acapella.
Folds, Jen A.
I love Ben Folds. I love him dearly. I hate acapella music with every fiber of my
Hey,
being.
there we go.
There we go. So you can judge me on that. There you go.
I think everybody who does not like acapella music, I get it.
Yeah.
But you should all YouTube the clip from the sing off of the Dartmouth Airs doing a medley for Queen. It is one of the most amazing fucking it's jaw dropping.
I'm gonna do it, but you know the main problem that I have with acapella, and it's not the genre, because I think the genre is impressive, and I like the arrangement, I like the technique, I like the, you have to have an incredibly tuned ear to be able to do it. Like I appreciate the genre. I hate the attitude behind it. And because every acapella singer I've ever seen, and I will YouTube this, I'll look it up to see if this, proves my theory, thinks they are so cool. And it's that attitude behind it. Like, yeah, I'm singing with no music. Yeah. And Kyle Dunnigan used to be like, on his podcast that he did with Tig Notaro, he always used to do like there are no instrument, like making fun of it, and it was spot on because they all have that like I'm singing with no instruments. Look at how cool I am. That's the problem I have with acapella music.
I 100% agree with you, Jen.
Thank you.
The bravado that comes with the completely unearned bravado that comes with most acapella artists is like, you think you're so cool, and you are the nerdiest human being I have ever met. Like, at least I know that I'm a nerd, and I'm not trying to pretend that I'm fucking cool. Acapella people definitely think they're cool.
Yeah.
I did not think that I'd be starting a sentence this way when I woke up this morning, but in defense of acapella people, I'm gonna say I get it because like when you have the musical instruments, like you can feel that music, it can fuel you, you can then like ride that energy out. But with acapella, you don't get that. You have to build your own hype, and so. And like, and all you have is you and your buddies. Like, I get like, okay, well, we're the ones that have to do all the energy right now, and we've got to keep each other in it. So I get that. I get self-hyping that shit.
I get it. There's an inauthenticity to it for me. There is that element of like, I have to build myself up rather than like, you know what I mean? Like there's that element of like, yeah, let's get the crowd going, guys. You know, like that kind of.
I know what you mean. I just think that you both have holes in your souls.
That's fair.
All right.
Hey, but I just admitted my deep love for no reason for So You Think You Can Dance. So there's that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you deal with 30 seconds of scrutiny just there? Oh, man. That must have sucked compared to the 45 minutes you guys have been piling on me.
Oh, I have no
the
problem
victim.
being scrutinized. Please.
No, I
Scrutinize me away.
No, I do.
I'm sure there's something else that you love that I hate. I just
I'm
don't
positive.
know what to grab at, to guess at, to get there.
I don't know. I think today I'm just going to be sad.
No.
Oh,
No, don't be
Please
sad.
don't be
I'm not going to be sad, but just if the only thing I can do is watch this family tree and rewatch every Christopher Guest movie I've seen, then we started with me at a -4. I think I'm at like a -2. Like, I get that I should like it more, but I don't.
Okay, I can accept that. I know the score
didn't drop. I know the score made progress, but I'm still like bummed out by this because like I want to be into this. I'm just not.
I feel like here's what I'm going to say. I really think that if you were to watch Family Tree, it might make you feel a little bit better because I think you will at least enjoy discovering Nina Conti, who's a really hilarious and brilliant ventriloquist that everyone should check out, who is critically underknown. She also has an amazing documentary that she did all about going to this ventriloquist convention in honor of her late mentor. And it's this really touching, sweet, and also hilarious documentary just about people and relationships and loss. It's so good.
Is it called Ventriloquist?
Oh,
no, I hate you.
Trademark right now.
Trademark that. That is mine. That is Don't Mind If I Don't Industries.
Oh my Lord, Aaron Gold.
Jen Brown.
No, it is not. I actually
can't
remember the name of the documentary, but if you look up Nina Conti, you'll find information about her. I think if you were to watch it, it might make you feel better because I think you would genuinely laugh at the stuff with Chris O'Dowd. There is like a standard, played out man going on bad dates thing, but they do it so fucking well in the show. It's absolutely hilarious. So, I think that you might actually enjoy that one. Go into it with an open mind and maybe it will heal this little crack that has formed in your heart.
Okay, I will do that. Jen A.
Yeah.
Jennifer Anderson.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, I got a couple things that I'll plug. I'm going to be performing in a Pride variety show here in the city on Pride Variety trademark on June 22nd in the Crane Theater. It's called Summer Clearance. I'm doing my improv show, my monthly improv show, Spooky Doings, where we listen to somebody's true story of ghost sightings or other freaky things that happen to them, and then we do an improv set off of it. And then I'm going to be on TV playing a real life murderer in a show called Perfect Murder on Investigation Discovery. That's going to be in August.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I feel very uncomfortable sitting right next to you now.
Oh, I know. I have those tendencies.
Speaking of murder, Jen Brown, what do you have to plug?
Obviously, my podcast, Women in Caskets. Right now we're doing an Evil Dead retrospective, so we need to tune into that.
You mean the only good thing Sam Raimi has ever done?
Right. Not the only. I really enjoyed Drag Me to Hell.
I didn't see it.
I thought that was fun. Also, my fiance that has been mentioned on this podcast, he joins me for not a podcast, Jesus Christ, a stream 3 days a week on Twitch. We stream under Jen Brown Plays. So if you want to watch someone play video games pretty poorly, you can tune into that. I'm also currently on the new season of Camp that's airing right now on roosterteeth.com. Camp is my favorite Rooster Teeth show. It's utterly hilarious. I would watch it if I wasn't on it, and this season has been great. And then other than that, if you happen to be listening to this and you just so happen to be a fan of my voiceover work, you can catch me at Anime BluesCon at the end of this month on July 29th and July 1st in Memphis.
Jen, who do you play on Camp?
I play a character named Arid, and I also, in the season finale of season 2, I did 3 voices in one episode. It was like a personal triumph for me to be able to do multiple characters in one episode.
Damn, girl.
Yeah, it was real fun.
Good for you. I would like to plug, as always, You Are Not Alone, an uplifting show about depression. The next one is Monday, July 16th at 7:30 p.m. at the Magnet Theater. You can go to magnettheater.com. They offer classes and shows in improv, sketch, acting, a whole bunch of great stuff, musical improv. I'm also hosting the Thursday Night Mixer at the Magnet Theater for the rest of June. And then the mixer goes away.
What?
Well, they're changing it up. But through June, Thursdays at 6 p.m. or 5:30 p.m. if you want to get there early in time to warm up. Anybody can do improv for free. It's a good time. Go to the Magnet Theater. If you'd like to follow me on online things, it's at Hey, It's Aaron Gold. Or follow this podcast at Don't Mind Podcast. Or I'll tell you what, if you got something you want to say to me in more than 280 characters, you can shoot me a little email at don'tmindpodcast@gmail.com. Also, if you leave a review on iTunes or shout out this podcast on social media stuff, I'll say something that I like about you. Amanda Mayer, I like that your name is basically a sentence in an Oklahoma-esque play. What? Who's going to lead the town? We need Amanda Mayer. I stand by this. I stand by this thing I've said. Jens, thank you so much for joining me. The Jens Anderson and
You're
Brown.
welcome.
And hey, guys, I'm saying this to the people listening. The best way to convince me how wrong I am about Christopher Guest is by going onto iTunes and clicking subscribe and leaving a 5-star review. Then I'll definitely know, oh man, I really got to change my ways. Jens, thank you guys so much for joining me. And as always, keep on minding.